So here I am. I'm finally coming back. I have been so busy lately between provinces in Canada and then catching a flight out of Montreal. I'm currently in Mexico City, so this is most definitely on that journey of fun after 50. So this is a week today. This will be, let's say, the 8th day. I arrived here around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've just finished breakfast now. I've been staying with a girlfriend in her place, which is right here across the way. Let me just turn a little bit and you'll see her blue house. Can you see it? Yeah, that's the blue house over there. And this is where I've been living for the last week. And tomorrow I catch another flight to a town called Zihuatanejo, which has a tourist area called Ixtapa. And you might have heard of Ixtapa, and so that's where I'm going to be hanging out with a lovely couple my age, around my age, and I'm going to be living with them for a couple of months to really enhance my Spanish, because my friend who owns this house here is Spanish, of course, born and raised in Mexico City, and been around the world a lot like me as well. And but anyway, she has settled down here a number of years ago, and she speaks a lot of English thanks to her having traveled around. So we speak mainly in English, like 90% of the time we're together we're speaking in English. But over the weekend we toured around to different neighborhoods, and we have eaten like you can't believe. But still, with all the walking I do, because I don't have my car here, well, not obviously, I could have driven down, but I don't have my car here. So with all the walking that I do, I brought, also I had a fever for a day and a half, but I brought my weight down to 1.5 holes on my belt, tighter. So whatever weight that might be, that's what I love about living in Mexico or some country like this for several months. Is for several months I walk and walk and walk, and I just love it. Yes, of course I can get a taxi. I'm in Mexico City, the taxis are everywhere, but no, not what I like to do. Now I wanted to show you some of the beautiful flowering bushes around here, but this is one of the things. The food I love in Mexico. I will tell you, I think Mexico has the greatest food in the world. But there are all these flowering bushes everywhere. So I'll just have to take photos and put them up for you. There's one in front of Claudia's house, but I took a photo of it, which I'll share. But there's a big truck, as you can hear, right trying to turn the corner right there at Claudia's, and it's going to take him a while, and he's going to be a little bit noisy. But anyway, here's an example of just a little bit of a patio in front of their neighbor's house. So it's got that green fake grass carpet there, and then they just make this little patio for themselves with all these flowering shrubs. These are bougainvillea, of course. We call them paper flowers. Oh, here comes the truck. So it's so noisy. I'm just going to pack it in. Okay, so here I am back again. The truck has gone by, and I'm making my way slowly to the house. That's not the entrance. That's her sister's apartment. That's the entrance to her sister's apartment. And then, oh yeah, here's one of the beautiful bushes that I see when I come out in the morning and in the afternoon and whenever. Yeah, yep. And this, I found out, is called red apple. You can see that little red, and I forget. It's a Latin name for the plant, but anyway, red apple. Yeah, so this is what I'm up to these days. I'm finally getting back to doing some videos and whatnot. And yeah, you'll notice the clothing is still pretty much the same as it was in Canada, except that, oh yeah, I'll show you my feet. White as, but at least they're exposed. I've been wearing runners almost the entire time that I've been here because it's chilly. Well, I'm wearing a coat. It's chilly here, and this is why I cannot reside in Mexico City, because it's just too bloody cold for me. So that's why I'm going to Siwa. It's very hot. It gets very hot down there. It won't be too hot right now, but I don't know. It might be around 30 degrees during the day. But I was there 2 years ago for 2 weeks after Christmas until after New Year's. That I was there, so I celebrated my birthday there, and then New Year's in Siwa, in this house of this couple, my friends. So yeah, it's going to be just strictly. I should be talking with this bush behind me instead of a building, but at any rate, so I'm going to be really improving my Spanish. I speak Spanish well enough, lots well enough to get by. I can have, deep conversations, but I just have to get back into the rhythm. And speaking English so much with Claudia and her sister Liliane, then, my head just doesn't get into the Spanish, and that's okay too. So, poco a poco, I'll get back into it. And when I'm with my friends in Zihuatanejo, then they don't speak English by the grace of God, so we will only be speaking Spanish. So I'm looking forward to that. And is it fun? Absolutely. Why, at the age of almost 66, do I need to speak Spanish so much better? Because that's just me. When I decide I want to learn something, I need to learn it, not just around the edges, but I need to dive right into the middle and really get it. I speak French that well, and I lost my French when I was learning Spanish. I just couldn't speak French. Only Spanish came out every time I tried to speak French. But when I got back home in Canada, then my French came back. So of course, now it's back here now that I'm back in Mexico City. But it will go to the side pretty quickly. I haven't had too much French come up in the last couple of days, so we're getting there. So this is what's fun for me. For others to learn a language, it can be a bit of a challenge. It is a challenge, a bit of a challenge. And for others, that may not be your cup of tea. For me, it is. So what's fun for you? I encourage you to really think about that. What's fun for you? And when was the last time you had tons of fun? All right, so on that note, I'm going to leave you. So go forth, and this is what I say to my clients when we're signing off. Go forth and prosper and have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. So this is my last night in Mexico City, and we came up here to watch the sunset, and we made it. Look at how cloudy it is, but we saw the sunset right over there in that V shape just before the sun went down permanently, but the clouds were not covering it. How beautiful, eh? Let me see if I can catch a picture of, I have these big plants here. So let me see if I can. No, I can't, but I'll put a picture in.
And it's a tree.
So talk about a poinsettia. That is a poinsettia tree. A Sylvester poinsettia. This is bougainvillea. That is a hybrid, white and pink, and it's a Mexican variety. That's what it's called. It's got the name, and the actual botanist who did the hybridization of the white and the pink, his name is Francisco. Yeah, Francisco. So that's the name of this bougainvillea. Yeah, It's been a beautiful 8 days here in Mexico City. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Or maybe up in the sky. So after a bit of a delay, I guess it turned out to be about 40 minutes of delay, we're finally boarded. And we're going to be taking off shortly. And now we have a problem in closing my carry-on luggage bin. Yeah, doesn't look like it's gonna. Oh well.